Good day, everybody. Another batch of interviews or videos going out to you live and direct from Facebook and wherever else. Okay, so Brian here from quantlabs.net. I wanted to show you what's going on with the markets. And it looks like Bitcoin is somewhat in a range bound here. But here's what's going on. This is on TradingView. Bitcoin USDT is one of the more popular combinations if you were to trade on the world of TradingView. So I'm giving you a year-to-date look, and that is, I believe, since the beginning of the year. So here, started trending up, and then you get this massive drop. But look at the pretty fast recovery. It's roughly about 50% of the drop that pretty well wiped me out by 50%. So that's a pretty good recovery, and that's with Bitcoin. Okay, so that's obviously the largest coin out there in the world of crypto. Now, one of the safety haven trades, check this out. Here, we should not be seeing this drop whatsoever. None. Okay, this should not be happening. We have a nice steady trend up, not moving as fast as Bitcoin, and it drops, but we should not be seeing this at all. It has recovered, but if anything, gold should be moving up. It ain't happening, okay? So then when you look at the SPX, or the equivalent of the SPY, or Spider, you can see that this massive drop from 3,400 all the way down to 2,400. So you're looking at roughly 1,000 points, and the recovery has not been as strong as Bitcoin, okay? Where it's 50% recovery. Like, we don't even, I mean, you're starting to maybe see a little bit of a clawback, but you see the trend here. Goes up and it just drops. So we are in a free fall here. Forex is another one. What you want to look for here, it's been pretty well range bound, but yet when you look at these tiny moves, unless you're pretty crazy and living with a brain full of rocks with crazy leverage, do you think it's wise to put on crazy leverage in a trading environment, in a range bound trading environment? I think you'd be absolutely nuts. So I'll bring it all back to Bitcoin. So what I do not really trade Bitcoin or Ethereum when the markets are not strong enough to trade, because you will get, and I've put up a video on this, where if you get a bad position in Bitcoin or Ethereum, it will wipe out uh, all of your positive. So right now, I've got a tool that I'm able to write to tell me what are the best movers right now to trade in USDT. Okay. Also, what I want to show you here, these are all the movers, fairly recent, right here on the Binance futures, and these are the percent moves right here. So they're not exactly strong, but some of them are up 1%, and that's right now. These are all a selection of coins that we can choose from that are moving at 1% right now. And some of them that my bot will not trade because the volatility. So we only have 3-4 positions as a safeguard to ensure that this bot will not take crazy trades right now. Let me just see if we can get out of here. Okay, let me just check in with the bot, see what it's doing right now. Okay, so this is live and direct. So right now, the markets have not been very cooperative. It's up and it's down, but it's in and around a 0.5% move up or down the last 12 hours. Okay, so it really can affect this weighted average as my metric to know when to trade and when not to trade, when to risk on, risk off sort of metric. So if I run my P&L for today in the futures, let's see what we have. And I've shown this before. And I think there's 3 positions as of like half an hour ago, and it was running at a tiny bit of a loss. But on average, it's been doing 1%, but it's slowed down for the last little bit. But right now we'll let that run. But overall, you can see that crypto overall, the big granddaddy of them all, has come back at about 50% on that last big drop last week. Okay, so here we only have 3 positions as mentioned, and we are slightly down, just slightly, not even, I mean, it's negligible right now. But we're just waiting for that Bitcoin to start to move again, as it is, but the big moves, that's what we're looking for. And that's why here, if you counted these bars over the last 10, chances are you'll see those 1% moves each day. And that's just with Bitcoin. So with that in mind, what I want to go over is the history of all the things that have been moving lately. Let me just copy this into a temporary directory. And move into it and then open up that file. And these are the movers the last couple of days. These are all the positions since March 13th. So we'll look at the most. Oh, it's blank. Great. Okay, so what we can look at as a backup, I'll look at these 3 coins, see how they've been moving on the world of so we have NEO, USDT is one of them that's traded today. So let's see how it's performed since year to date. And then we have 2 other ones. We have BAT and VET. So we'll check these out. So right now it's up 0.1%. And this is probably, a lot of them will show that they're range bound. You can see we had a nice steady up from 8 to 16 where it did double. And then it dropped back because of that big drop. But it is somewhat clawing back. Now, when you look at the intraday, you have these nice big moves, and that's where this bot will take advantage of them when the market allows. But it has to be a steady trend up for it to take a trade. And sometimes you lose. In this case, with this BAT USD, which we'll take a look at, see how that pair has been trading. USDT. Everything's in Tether, USDT, because they're coming from the US markets. So this mimics the US dollar. And this one, I believe we were profitable on. No, that was the negative one. So let's see what this looks like. So here, this drop is not as much, but it's range bound. To be honest, this is nothing to get excited about either. But let's check out the last one here, VET USDT. And I'm going to show you another set of coins that have been doing pretty good all year. CoinMarketCap.com. So which one were we looking for? Was it VET USDT? Yep. Okay, let's try that VET USDT. This is, I don't think this is an all-star one, but we'll try it out. But the ones that have been doing pretty good by volume has been a couple. This one, Tezos, and Chainlink has been doing pretty good. So let me show you those. The VET one, we just traded, same thing as Bitcoin, sort of clawing back. But intraday, you can see that, as it says, there's some of these little rises. Let's see the time when this position was put on. We are looking at 622, so that moved up 0.1% on that little position. So it's somewhere in around here. So again, nothing to get shook to write home about, but it did okay. But as I said in my database, if I look at overall the P&L for the futures stuff, this as an example here. We have IOTA is another one that's been doing okay. It's been moving pretty good. Tron, let's see what we got here. IOTA, let's see, US dollar. Okay, let's see how this one's been doing. But the ones that have been performing quite well are Chainlink and Tezos, and one called Cosmos. Let me show you those. Okay, again, this is nothing too crazy, but it will have its odd time. That's why the bot will look for those opportunities. But the ones that have been doing pretty good, this is Link USDT. This has been quite a phenomenal ride. And I believe it's not as doing as well as it used to do because people have suddenly discovered it. But you can see here, up until the crash, it was at 160.69 and it peaked at about 470. When you do the math, that is a phenomenal ride. Another one is XTC, which is Tezos, USDT. But everything's gone range bound over the last few weeks since this market crash. So this one has been doing well. And again, here's another awesome story, but again, it's just been wiped out with this crash, about $1.48, and again to 350 or so. So that's a 3-time increase. I'll show you one more, which is Atom, which is also known as Cosmos. So let's check out that as it loads up. So there are lots of opportunities out there that do quite well. Here, you can see it's not as strong. Back in October, $1.50 to $5. Not too shabby. But here's the thing: when you see here's your bottom and it's starting to claw back, that right there tells you that maybe, just maybe, that is the bottom that has already formed and everything's starting to rebound. But safe to say that is the case when you look at these different coins. But when you look at things like SPX, I mean, you just see the pattern here, just a steep drop. It does bounce back, but it's just in this falling knife environment the next following day. And I wouldn't be surprised if this will continue starting tomorrow, because it's the Fed pumping out with their little bazooka, pumping out these huge, massive numbers of debt of 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 6 trillion to get these sudden pops, but the market's just not allowing it because the confidence is not there to sustain it. And again, I could take you over to overall, like a 5-year outlook on the euro. It's just been smashed. So we'll leave it at that. But I just wanted to show that to you. But it's definitely Bitcoin. It looks like it has gone through the bottom process. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.